Well, hey everybody, it's Tuesday, October 25th, and yes, I'm reading the date because I'm not smart enough and I'm sick. I'm a little under the weather today, the last couple of days. Look, you'll notice I haven't been on Facebook at all the last couple of days, and it's been driving Jeff nuts because I wouldn't even respond to him all day yesterday. He's like, "What the hell?" That guy actually went. Wait, here. While I'm talking about him, Jeff actually went to my wife today. He went to mom and he's like, "Hey, where's Charley? He's ignoring me. He doesn't like me no more, and I need me some Charley because that's what everybody needs in their day is some Charley."
My actual verbatim text was, "Hey, is Charley okay?"
Yeah, that's the same thing. It's close. What are you talking about? So
yeah,
yeah,
Matthew Neeson got the brunt of it yesterday. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We'll
nice.
be going over that soon. Um,
Oops.
because there was no Charley, Matt got the call. I
Right.
had to talk to someone yesterday. But
So
before we
Robin
do
Nee,
that,
what's up?
Charley, let's
Yep.
get this surcharge out of the way because we know
All
what
right,
we're
let me
talking
say the
about today.
hellos real quick. Paul Phillips in Ohio. Chris is sitting somewhere deep in. Oh no, I thought that said MN, and I was like, that's way Canada, but New Mexico. I'm with you there. That's a good one.
Sounds warm.
Dude, this name kills me. Look at this right here. Charlie's favorite kid. What's up? I think
I've
I
got
know,
competition.
but I'm not sure I know who that is. Matthew Nissen's here. Purple Yeti. What's up, everyone? So yeah, you know what? Let's do the fuel surcharge thing because we got some stuff to dip into, and I don't want to prolong that. I do a little bit, but not really. And so yeah, let's do that. So we're just gonna dive right into the fuel surcharge, and yeah, it'll be fun. Come on, what? So this week, oh look at that! I screwed up on the screens. Oh, I win. Screw it. I'm just gonna stay behind the screen. I'm gonna let Jeff look like he's a puppet. Every now and then, move your lips. It'll be great, Jeff. Oh, you bastard! So the national fuel cost went up 0.002 cents this week to 5.341. The West Coast Pad 5 went down. Questionable. I'm just gonna say that. Just questionable timing on a drop on the West Coast and a substantial drop at that. Whatever, politicians, anyhow. So that's going to bring our West Coast or our fuel surcharge up to 0.693. That's a change of 0.002, but it's not a drop. So I'm happy with that. West Coast, yeah, the West Coast dropped from 10 cent last week to 8 cents this week because of that 0.535 differential difference between the West Coast and the national average. So yeah, now that that's done, let's get the heck out of here, and I'll put it on the bottom. By the way, if you want to call in now. 813-543-3722. The phones are open. Nobody's answering but Google or whoever it is that does it, and it's fun to see what you guys tell the computer because it says some wacky stuff. Anyhow, let's get back to the regular stuff because we got stuff to talk about. And I clicked on it and then double clicked on it. It's complete
Weird.
and utter failure, dude. I just don't even know how to act. So let me see. We got chat here. Let me change this real quick for those who want it. Because, if you didn't hear me rambling through that real quick, there's a fuel surcharge right there at the bottom of the screen. So a lot of people have been talking about some stuff that came out on YouTube yesterday. And you know what? We got the man who put it out there and kicked the Hornets. Yeah. Trucker Todd, everybody.
Hello.
I can't believe that any of you here don't know, but in case you don't know, this is Trucker Todd. He runs a YouTube channel over on the YouTubes. He's got a decent little following over there. It's definitely bigger than ours. He's got a wider audience than us. So yeah, whatever, Todd, show off. But yeah, it's not like we compete anyhow. Come on, we've actually been talking to Todd for quite some time, and I dig the dude. So but the thing that's on everybody's mind, Todd. Oh wait, I should do this real quick. So that we're doing some promotion. If you want to go check out Trucker Todd, look him up, Trucker Todd. You could just type up Trucker Todd. It'll come up on YouTube, or you could type this crazy, oh my god, digits and letters and stuff. Good luck. I know our channel is the same. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not big enough to have a cool YouTube custom name yet, or whatever. Anyhow, check him out. Look him up, Trucker Todd on YouTube. And the thing everybody's talking about, required cameras in contractor trucks at Swift. And Todd, I'll let you kind of go over what happened yesterday, what transpired, and let you kind of dip into it to start with, man. Then we'll talk.
Okay, so originally we had to keep part of this private, but now we can go ahead and say what happened. My OOC called me and was telling me about some other stuff. I was having trouble finding an empty. And he said, "Hey, I'm letting all my drivers know that this is what's happening." He thought it was okay to share it, and evidently it was supposed to be private. And the big news is that starting January 1st, you'll have the first quarter to get it up till April 1st. They're going to require everybody using Swift insurance to get a forward-facing camera. They're going to have 5 different models to choose from, and it's coming. I know a lot of guys, the big concern is, well, if it says in my contract I don't have to have a camera, and you're right, it does, but it also says you have to have insurance, and as a requirement for your insurance, you have to have that camera. Now, my first question as an independent contractor, thinking, well, can I get outside insurance?
Right.
And it appears that we can. We're still waiting on the details of that. Evidently, around November 1st, they're supposed to release some some additional information. And hopefully at that point, we'll have a little more clarification. It's definitely way too soon to start panicking or jumping ship.
Right.
It's but what it is, and regardless of how this turns out, what it is time to do, though, is to look at alternative insurance options. We're probably not going to beat Swift's prices, but you never know. If the collective, all of us start looking, then we might find a more favorable insurance. Or if not, we'll know just how favorable Swift insurance is. And also, it's well, shoot, I just went blank.
I do it all the time, Todd.
I'm pulling a Charley.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that, and it's also, we just want to contact your rapid response people and your OOCs and let them know your thoughts on this, because from what I understand, there hadn't been any driver input yet. This was kind of something they were talking about behind the scenes, and they may not realize how important of an issue it is to a lot of us guys. So instead of getting mad and quitting or bad mouthing them on the internet, contact them and let's talk about it. Get a dialogue going.
Yeah, no doubt. So just something we should clarify is absolutely you can get your own insurance.
Yep.
And there's a statement here from Timothy Ransom that I want to put up, and he said, and this is an argument. And look, man, we're here to have a dialogue, Tim. So, but Swift owns their insurance, so they are breaking the contract. No, they're not breaking the contract. Swift says you have to have insurance. That's what the contract says. And the insurance company that they utilize, whether they own them or not, is irrelevant, honestly, in my opinion. And Lord knows, let the floodgates open. Here goes Miss Swift and all this kind of crap. Whatever. We talk business here, guys. You don't like what we're saying? That's whatever. It's opinion. We do things a certain way. However, they say you have to have insurance, and their insurance says they're going to require us to have cameras. There are 4 options, four manufacturer options that they're going to have. I can give you a quick rundown. It's going to be Metrodyne, Smart Drive, Sansara, and Lytix. Audio is not going to be required in the cameras. I think some of the camera systems have audio, and it may just be an option. I'm not sure. And there is going to be no in-cab cameras. And the biggest part of this is coaching. So what's going to happen with these cameras? Okay, the insurance company, and if you want to call it Swift, whatever, that's on you. Let's just keep each entity separate, because that's what they all are. They're all their own business lines at this point, right? They have decided, and look, my understanding is Mercer requires cameras now. There's a lot of insurance companies out there now that say, if you want our insurance and our prices, well, you're going to have a camera that we can access. Sometimes they don't even have to access it. They'll say, hey, you got to make an agreement that you have to add a camera, and when we want that footage, you send it to us. And if you don't, I don't know, ponies are going to come kick you in the face or something, you know? Whatever. It's a thing that's coming, you guys. Let's just be kind of real about this. It's going to happen. If you do use their insurance, and right now the way it was stipulated to me was the damage physical portion of the insurance. If you utilize their physical damage, then you will be required to use one of their approved camera systems. I actually asked today about, well, what about, Jeff and I have been talking about the Falcon Eye that we love, 3 camera system, black box. They have the option to have a cloud-based system. That's great. And the individual I spoke to said, you know what, that's a damn good question. And we will dip into that further and see if we can actually get that to be one of those options for those of you who already have it. Alan Becker. I mean, right off the top of my head, right?
Right.
So Jeff and I were poking around in the camera systems that they are offering. One of them, we actually kind of like the look of it, and I'll let Jeff tell you about that because I thought it was great as
Yeah,
well.
it's actually I was doing this during my 30 and was trying to get up here for the show, so I only had time to look at one of the systems, and that was on the Netrodyne website. And we don't know which actual cameras Swift is gonna be using, but it's just like that Falcon Eye dash cam. It's got a black box, it's got cloud service, up to 4 cameras. It's a really nice system, and since all this is going to be used for by Swift, and we have been told that this is final. All it's going to be used for by Swift is for if you have an accident. There's not going to be any coaching, none of that. This is just they want access to our camera if there's an accident, so that they're not waiting on us to upload footage to them, whatever. And just to be clear, you guys that were on last night, you saw my knee-jerk reaction to this. Not positive, But as we've gained more information, still not happy. I'm not going to say I'm happy right now, but I'm listening to them. Right? Would that be fair?
Yeah,
Charley?
there's a conversation to be had.
I'm listening to what they had to say, and I'm looking at the products that they're saying that they're going to have available to us. And if that I'll tell you right now, Charley, if that camera's not on the list of you can have this, I might just say, hey, let's talk about that.
Right.
Because that's the thing is one of my beefs about the smart drive system, other than all the other stuff that I don't want to go down that path. But one of my beefs is it's just one forward facing camera. I want that around the truck view. I like Alan's 4-camera system. I don't know that I need that, but in this age where people are stealing fuel, it might be a good idea to have something on the back of your truck watching those fuel tanks too.
Right.
But at the minimum, I want forward, and I want the mirror satellites. That way, if someone, okay,
don't let that distract
you. Matt, you weren't there, so I can't do
Jeff
what I want to do on
yesterday.
TV.
That's great.
Oh man,
sorry.
So that's what I would prefer. Again, it's up in the air what they're actually going to offer, and I know that they are scrambling to get something out to us soon. At this point,
and one of the things that I dipped into was like, actually, this is gonna dip right into Blackbeard. He said I'd be on board only if I had full access to the footage, and they would need permission to review the footage. So my understanding with this is, yes, you will have full access to the footage, but they will not need your permission to review the footage. However, the only time that the footage is to be touched, okay, to be accessed, is in the event of an accident. They are stating adamantly that, and I say they, the proverbial they, that they are not going to do any of this coaching stuff, and that sort of thing. This is actually kind of a good question here too. Let me get right to you. give me 1 second, Ronan. The coaching is our problem as well, Paul. Paul Phillips said the coaching is my problem. Sorry, I didn't put that up. I don't work for Swift. I work for Dirt Dart Transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And I coach myself pretty regularly as I'm driving down the road. You idiot! God, what's wrong with you? And I would have to fire me. Yeah. Oh,
you've
good
got a
Lord.
Rosie.
Rosie get me too. She scares me.
Well, but I think everybody's concern is that we've seen this with other companies where they'll say we're putting the cameras in, but we're not going to coach, and then later they go, oh, we are going to coach, but only in an event, and it'll trigger false positives, and then all of a sudden you're getting coaching. But by the way, hi to everybody saying hi.
Right, and that's our big thing too. Todd. Don't look. I've seen too many falses where they're like, oh, well, you were doing this, and the person that's calling you in the office and taking time out of your day because now you got to go by a terminal to sit down and look at this stupid video. I shouldn't say stupid video, but stupid video. And they're like, oh, look, it says you're following too close. Let's watch this. Oh, never mind. You're good. So wait, I just wasted my time coming in here for real?
Had to travel there and take the day off. Yeah, all that stuff. So Craig and I actually, Craig's one of those guys that got proactive on this, and I appreciate that. We talked this morning. So this is absolutely, I am confident from talking to people that are actually part of this thing. No, there's not going to be any coaching. That is something that as owner operators we've fought in the past and won, and it comes down to, you guessed it, AB5 type stuff.
Right.
If they take too much, if they start doing stuff like that, that's another one of those things that shows a court,
right,
that we are not contractors, that we are employees. And the people we've been talking to are really adamant. No, we're not going to do coaching on owner operators.
Where did that comment go?
Which one?
I lost it.
Summarize.
Oh, here we go. Since they're mandating the camera, will the drivers pay less for insurance? We actually found out today that there's an increase in insurance costs coming. And that's what's actually triggering this is my understanding is to keep it from going up more than what it is going to go up. Because that's kind of industry wide as far as the insurance thing goes. Nobody's dropping prices right now. That's for damn sure. So I don't know. I believe, we're looking at like 5 or some odd percent or something like that. I can't remember what the numbers were. Again, it's not hard, cold facts. It's, kind of I think what was said was somewhere around 5 or 6% increases is what we're looking at. Don't know if that's actually going to fully be passed on to us or if that's what it's trying to alleviate. I honestly don't know. I know a lot of insurance companies will give you a break on insurance if you run a camera, blah, 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 this and that. But the big thing is we shouldn't be. And if when this first rolls out, let's talk about next year. We're talking about January 1st being required is when they're going to start requiring it, maybe with full implementation by the end of the first quarter. That never goes like they think anyhow. Let's be real. It'll probably be second and third quarter before it. Anyhow, not to go down that route. So,
sonar.
Yeah, sorry. Exactly. Right. Sonar. What? And load board. Sorry. Oh, I brought it up. That was me this week. I did it. Anyhow. So with that being said, with the prices going up, possibly from what we understand, the implementation of this may be a type of deal. In again, flame me for what you want. I don't care. I think that they're trying to keep costs down because they have been absolutely hammered over the past year or two, actually several years, in litigation due to accidents. The coaching thing is not supposed to happen. And in the event that coaching does happen, by all means, reach out to the head of safety. And I mean, go up the chain expeditiously, because, my understanding is that absolutely, contractors are not to be coached for camera events. And with these new systems that they're talking about, requiring us to have, that's not even supposed to be something that's supposed to pop up, because it's only there in the event of an accident. And let's be real, it doesn't, Todd, you touched on this in your video, and we've talked about it before. These cameras don't just record that event. They're recording 24/7.
Yep.
And they are saving terabytes of data on every truck all the time. The only time that that's supposed to be accessed is in the event of an incident where you had an accident and now they need the footage. So and I mean, it is just what it is. And Ronan, look, I'm sorry that it discourages you. Jeff and I and most people that I know encourage people to have a camera. I just didn't want Swift Smart Drive camera because I don't need a nanny. And luckily my driver leader never would have called me with some cam event crap. She'd have been like, "Hey, I got a ding, fix that." Okay. That would have been the extent of it. Let's just be real. Other people think that they want to micromanage the crap out of you, and we're not company drivers, and that's not supposed to happen. So, with that being said, I have gotten this from extremely reliable sources that coaching is not something that's supposed to happen. Now, will it happen in 5 years? Who knows? It is not on the slate now. It is not something they're thinking about because they honestly are worried about the AB5 stuff. They don't want to have to go back and make us all company drivers. Trust me on this one. That is not something that's in their favorite list of things to do.
So this is a good question that we actually do not have an answer for, I don't think, unless you found something out today after we talked.
I don't know that number.
I mean, that's something
I can tell you that 25% of Swift contractors have a smart drive system in their truck, which made me a little sad when I learned that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Seems like a high number.
Yeah, that's something that we were kind of interested in, but we haven't gotten an answer on yet. So
if we can find that out, we're actually gonna really try and get some high muckety mucks from the company in late November, December, prior to all this actually going full blown live, you guys. That it's funny because this information that Todd put out was great. His OC told him, and he's like, "Well, all right, let's run with it." You know what I mean? And that's great. Look, I got no faults with Todd on this at all. I just want people to understand this. Swift actually wasn't planning on talking about this because they're still building an FAQ and all this other stuff. And they're still technically in exploratory mode with the whole systems that they're talking about putting out. And when Todd broke this yesterday, it was awesome because the world exploded. And now the insurance company, the division, everybody's like, "Oh, crap. How'd you find out? How'd you find out?" And now they're actually jumping out of there. But Brett was supposed to get us a copy of the FAQ by the close of business today. Of course, close of business my time and his time are completely different, so I don't have
he's still got at least an hour. Yeah,
so it is what it is. Hey Ronan, by the way, don't ever be sorry you're vocal. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Seriously, man, we are all about it, dude. Like look, be mad. We can talk it out. Don't be a dick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all got our moment. Well, no. This is one of those times it's okay to be real. Dude, never apologize for being vocal, man. The more we talk, the more we learn. And that's what we're all about, man, is trying to get as much information out there, have valid, real discussions about what's really affecting us and how it's going to affect our business and that of the business of Swift. Swift is our customer. Let's be honest about that relationship. They are my customer. They are your customer. If we can find ways to work where we work with them, they work with us, and everybody wins, man, great.
But I think some people would tell you that's where the problem has been in this issue is that they didn't work with us. There wasn't any communication about our thoughts or input on this. It would have been nice for them to have a driver panel and kind of bounce it off a few drivers so that some of these issues could be addressed, like who has access to the videos, how are the videos stored, things like that. I would be, for example, I'd be fine with a system that had something under the bunk that recorded on a loop so much data, and then if there was an incident, they could plug into it and download it. But a system like this where it's over the airwaves, there's potential for hacks. And the thing that makes me most nervous is that there wasn't any communication about it. This was something that we were going to find out about originally, either in December or in January, giving us very little time to react and get our own insurance or anything like that.
But at the same time, I mean, we would have had that first quarter, and like I said, we probably got 2 or 3 quarters, to be real.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, but no, but I do get your point. I just think that when it came out yesterday, which was kind of funny, when it came out, they were like, "Holy crap, we were not ready to talk about this yet," and so. I don't think that they were trying to hide it. What I was told today is that, like I said, they're still in exploratory mode. I love doing air quotes. I don't know why, but they're still in exploratory mode. I feel like I'm not in the right spot in my seat. Sorry. And so they weren't ready to talk about it yet. I believe that you and us and a couple other people would have gotten some information. We would have had a little more open conversation about it. Granted, it wouldn't have been until December probably. And
did they?
Like said,
did they mention to you who's going to pay for the installation of the cameras, or how long it'll take to get them?
FAQ stuff,
So that's like an indicator to me that they were not able to answer that question as to where they're at in the process.
Right.
So my guess is this probably would have come out in the next 30 days, and they're still trying to hammer out details.
And it is because I was specifically told the insurance company is jumping out their backside today because of the way that it came out, and they're trying to get everything put out there so that they can present it the right way, if that makes sense. And so yeah, they were just blindsided. It's hilarious sometimes.
So Roland, even now, if you're an owner operator and you have smart drive, there's not supposed to be a point system thing,
right?
And if you're experiencing that, we probably ought to figure out why that is.
Yeah, by all means, we can dip into that because it's not supposed to be a thing.
They are doing coaching with owner ops, but there's no points.
However, I can tell you that last month, out of with 25% of the contractor fleet being on Smart Drive, there were only 2 official coaching sessions.
Okay, but
understood.
Let me ask you both a question, though, and this isn't meant to be a gotcha question or nothing. But if they're currently with the current Smart Drive system coaching owner-operators, why are we to believe that if they get these new camera systems, they'll all of a sudden stop coaching?
Well, and that's the thing is there's actually not supposed to be coaching. It's someone in the terminal or slightly above that, the regional area that decided, well, I'm going to give this guy some coaching. And when that happens, we can actually get that addressed because it's not supposed to happen. Now, if there's something super blatant, right, that they see, they may reach out to you and say, hey, man, look, this isn't like we're not really coaching you, but bro, you did some things. And granted, it's not supposed to be sent and seen, but once it's seen, it can't be unseen, right? And if you see someone doing something super sketchy, then, I say stuff to people all the time. I'm like, bro, you're kind of batshit with what you're doing, and you might want to calm the hell down, right? So I can understand how that might happen occasionally, but it's not supposed to affect your scores or contract.
So like the way the Smart Drive works, and what we learned about, because Brett's been trying to get the 2 of us to get a Smart Drive camera for what, a year?
Oh yeah, ever since
and promising us the moon, and we're like, nope, nope, we're not doing it.
Pound sand, yo.
Because of the way the Smart Drive camera subscription service works, from what I understand, there's no way for them to turn off the reporting, because it's a package subscription for the whole company, and it would be prohibitively costly for them
to remove that one a la carte process, which is super
a la
carte
for 1,500 owner operators versus 15,000 company drivers.
Right.
So that the function itself is there to report when you're following too close or this or that. the safety people are not supposed to be coaching owner operators, though. But as we all know, we have some overzealous people in this world, and that's how that happens. What I would like to point out is that now that you guys know that, if you're experiencing that, please reach out, because we need to make sure that safety, corporate safety, knows about that, so they can retrain those
Hang tight,
people.
man. I'll get right to you.
I think
Tim,
that's everybody's concern, is this,
right.
that there's going to be some form of micromanagement, maybe a little in the beginning, that it'll increase over time.
And Tim said they were just mad because they wanted to keep it quiet till the last second, so we were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't believe that's true, man. Even with the initial rollout schedule that they had put in place, they were still giving us a full quarter to sort things out. And I mean, granted, we actually reached out to ES Advantage and their insurance companies that they use and tried to get a quote, and the website died on me halfway through my quote request, and I didn't get time to call them, so I was going to try and actually get a quote there to find out what we needed, what it was going to cost. So I mean, look, it's a couple of phone calls to get prices. I mean, this isn't like you're going to be trapped. I mean, look, it is what it is, man. The insurance company wants cameras. You don't want to pay for their insurance, which is super cheap.
I just want to point out too that Charlie and I were talking about this, and whether we like it or not, a lot of insurance companies are starting to require this.
They really are.
If you go to Iron Truck Services, because last year when I looked to get my own authority, I was just going to go through Iron, because why not? I knew people there, and let's get some quotes. And they require the smart drive camera system to get their insurance, period.
Right.
Like if you have your own numbers, your own DOT number and everything, you want insurance through that company, guess what? You're getting a smart drive camera.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but in that smart drive camera, there's different subscription packages. You could take a subscription that was less intrusive than the one Swift uses.
And that's what they were describing.
And that would be nice.
That's what they were describing to me.
Right. And that's what we were trying to get Swift to do. But because it's their system and they're subscribed to that super duper jumbo package, that in order to break it up, it was going to turn it into an a la carte package for the entire company because of, I don't know, legal crap. I don't know. You know what I mean? I can only go off what they say, and it sounds plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan said when I was lease purchased with Smith, that camera almost got my contract pulled out as being micromanaged, and that is not supposed to happen here. It is absolutely not supposed to happen. And if this does happen here, you guys, and someone calls you up and says you need to come in for some coaching because of the smart drive system now, hey, do me a favor, reach out to me. If you don't want to reach out to me or Jeff, call the boss. You can send email, David Tillman. Everybody in the company is their first name _ last name at swifttrans.com. They read their emails. Trust me. Sometimes it takes some of these guys a week to get to it because they get 13,000 emails a day. But if you put the right subject line there, I'm a contractor and I was coached. What the heck? Maybe you could catch that eye, right? And maybe it'll get to it a little bit quicker. So the way we've been told is it's not supposed to be happening.
Yep.
So I mean, that's what we got for you on that part of it. If that's the only thing holding you up on the camera system, I think we're probably in a good spot. If it's something else, by all means, bring it up, man. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we say.
Yeah, because that's the other thing that we've been talking about is we still have a few months where there's a seat at that table.
Right.
Let's take that seat. Let's talk about this with Swift, the big dogs, and let's hammer out our concerns and say, hey, like the comment earlier, I want this in writing. I agree.
Right.
That would be great to get it in writing that coaching is not a thing for owner operators, that all it's going to be used for is the accidents.
And that ICOA is did they said every year on anniversary now, right?
Every 2 years on the anniversary, okay, I thought.
So I mean, you could be seeing that in the ICOA coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't something in there at that point. What the hell? I don't know, Charlie. I feel you're getting your long hairs pulled, and we're about to get micromanaged.
Charley
hey,
doesn't
man,
have any. Charley doesn't have any
look,
long hairs except his goatee.
and I cut them down today. Anyhow, hey, Roland, bro, I appreciate your opinion. The person that I spoke to, I trust 100% to be frank and honest with me. And the reason they are is because I don't out them. I don't discuss specific details and say, "Oh, well, this person told me that," because that's not how you get the information. Let's be real.
Yep.
And so we do protect those types of things. Just like, I mean, Todd, yesterday wasn't talking about who gave him the information. Now it's a whole different story, and it's kind of funny. And I hope that he's okay. Just say I hope he's okay. But time will tell, Roland. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But I will say that when they first started rolling out these cameras in the contractor trucks, and Jeff and I were like, "Don't get the company camera. Don't get the company camera." And people were like, "Oh, but I want to do 72, so I'm going to get the company camera." See, well, now they've got this 25% of the fleet on the company camera. And they're like, "Well, look, these 25% of guys don't care, so why should the rest?" Well, yeah, I kept telling people, don't do it. Get your own decent camera system, something with a nice black box type system, so that in the event some horrific accident happens and your truck burns down, that there's still footage that exonerates you and shows that you were not the cause of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, there's going to be people that disagree, and the whole Mr. Swift thing's going to come out, and that's fine, man. You know what? It's come to the point where I'm just starting to accept the Mr. Swift moniker. But hey, at least I'm not Mr. Swift's sidekick. That guy right there. My bad, Jeff. I love you, man. But so it just is what it is, you guys. I mean, it's not pleasant. It's not something I want to deal with, but we're going to have to deal with it one way or the other. So either you get your own insurance, and there's a lot of insurance companies out there now that are going to require you to do the same thing. It's just, I mean, it's just going, it's the way the industry's going.
But won't some of those insurance companies allow us to use our existing dash cams?
Probably.
Some of them may. I honestly just don't know.
I could see some of them wanting certain specs.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you have those, you're good. I mean, as a former, I used to sell things for a living and stuff like that in the business arena. And yeah, I could see them doing something like that. But they're going to have specs they want. They're going to want to be somewhat sure that if you have an accident, that within a certain time, that video is going to get uploaded to them so they can see it.
But a Falcon Eye type system, a Falcon Eye system for like $1,800 is a lot cheaper than having to go out and get private insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
And that one's cloud-based. The $1,800 system's cloud-based, so there's cloud storage and all that, and you could give access to, if the insurance company wants to be able to access it, whatever, man, I'll give them a login. I'm sure that's something that could be set up and available. As long as the insurance company isn't calling me saying, "Hey, I saw you roll through that stop sign a little quick," I'm gonna be like, "You should pound sand and eat 3 bags of,"
Well, I haven't looked at the interface for that camera. That's the one that I was looking at, but I haven't looked at the interface. I'm sure it's like a lot of different systems where you can issue a temporary one-time password to someone,
right?
So that you're sure that they're not watching you go pee or something. I don't know, whatever you do in your truck.
Right. If you're peeing in front of your truck in front of a camera, I'm just saying you're trying to show off.
Dude, you and I have both seen that peeing at the fuel island.
Oh my God, stop it. That's where that who was it? Frank Kidder had stickers made for his truck, which cracked me up, and disagree with me or not, I don't care. Put it right there by the step behind the cab, and it says employee bathroom. Is that wrong? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that's
I saw that. I remember that.
That one cracked me up. I love that guy. I enjoy the crap out of him. But yeah, so as far as the black box systems go, if you're gonna spend money on a camera, I believe that's honestly the way to go, because then it's there in the event of catastrophic things. That's why Jeff and I like the Falcon Eye system, because that black box will survive a fire. And yeah, it just is what it is. Right now, and I'm still not running the damn Falcon Eye because I'm a terrible person. And right now I'm running it off of my Garmin. And so my Garmin's there, and I can promise you that footage is gone in the event of a fire. I'm screwed, and I'm probably going to lose whatever court battle comes from that. Purple Yeti, does that not strike some of y'all as a way to cull some of the herd because of the market and talks of great recession next year? Swift missed Q3 earnings pretty bad. So I actually specifically talked about that subject right there because it was coming up in the groups today and yesterday. And no, I can tell you, they absolutely do not want to get rid of us. Not one of us. They want to keep growing the fleet. The reason being, when this does turn around, and yes, it looks like a recession is here. Oh my God, he said the word. But it's here. But like every time, it will turn around. And if they are caught with their pants down and can't cover the contracts that they have, what do you think that's going to do to their earnings? They want every last one of us here.
Remember, one of the things that Swift is capacity. We have the largest truckload fleet in the nation, and that's what they're selling. And then they're going to customers and future customers saying, things are bad now, but next year when turn around, we will be there and we will have the capacity you need. And so that's how they're keeping the contracts that they already have right now, is that promise of the future capacity.
I'm going to dissect this a little bit. They're going to rule out that you're going to buy a camera, and they're going to control when I look at videos in coaching. No, we actually addressed that directly. The understanding as of right now is that we will have access to that footage and that it will not be used for coaching, and that if coaching is involved, if coaching does happen, then we need to have a talk with the leadership, because as of right now, the senior leadership is stating that no, there's not supposed to be coaching. So that is what it is, man. Bad. I hope that answers that. Exactly, Craig. Capacity means everything to customers. If we don't have the capacity, trust me, Swift is not trying to dump drivers. I mean, with the market being so crappy for some, the last thing, they're struggling with keeping people here, because when it does turn around, they don't want to get screwed.
Mm-hmm. And this kind of dovetails right into that. What's y'all's input on this low freight rate? I'm just going to come out and say it, man. It sucks.
Right.
You got superstars like Todd here that are still doing 3,000 miles a week, but
right? Guy's on fire, yo.
Yeah, he's been doing really good. I'm down to about 2,200 to 2,500 a week, which is low for me. Not by much, because I just don't like to work that much, but it's still low. That's $500 a week less than what I normally make. And Charlie and I, Todd, how long have you been in the industry? You've been through this before too, haven't you?
25 years. Yeah, I remember 2008. I actually got laid off from a company.
Dude, 2007 was when I leased my first truck. Imagine that.
Oh, wow.
By the first quarter of 2008, my wife was like, "What did you do to us?"
Right? You idiot.
Yeah, I got laid off on inauguration day of 2008.
Oh, man.
And I went home and did Pilgrim's Pride for 13 months and then came back to the same company once the recession was over.
Ronan says he's going to wait around until he makes a decision. He does miss Swift and enjoyed his time there. Hey, and look, man, getting all the information you can is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get out all the information and have these discussions. And some of these discussions are not pleasant, and they will strike a fire under you like nothing. Mm-hmm. And like, oh, screw this. I'm killing my contract. I'm going somewhere else. Well, when that happens, take a breath, take a beat, whatever catchphrase you want to throw on it, back up, have a conversation, come to us. I mean, we'll give you our views, and you will get an honest opinion out of us. A lot of times you may not agree with it. And I know some of you think that we're just towing a company line, but there are quite a few times when Jeff and I, are talking with Brett or someone like that, and we're like, "Hey, man, this is dumb. Why the hell are you doing this?" And we've managed to get a couple of different things stopped or changed and that sort of thing. So don't underestimate the power of the group, y'all. We represent over 10% of the contractor fleet at Swift in the private Facebook group. and they pay attention to us. They really do. There are some things we're not going to win. It just is what it is. But if we can go in with an intelligent conversation and be adults, nobody wants an adult today. I get that, because
That's
Lord
why I
knows I don't
became a
want an
truck
adult
driver,
ever.
because I don't have to be an adult, right?
Exactly. Then
that's
yeah,
we need to address that one. We need to nip that one in the bud there. No, not that one. I skipped.
You played my game. You clicked when it moved.
Well, and just because you're upset with Swift, go ahead.
So under our contract, at least, that's absolutely not true. I was told when you run under somebody's authority, you have to use their insurance. I don't know. There might be some companies out there that stipulate that. Swift is not one of them. In our independent contractor operating agreement, the ICOA, all it says is you have to have this much insurance under these, this much cargo insurance, this much collision insurance, this much bobtail insurance. It lays it out in the contract. Now you can buy that from Swift.
Pull up your insurance policy.
Yep.
You should have one in your email, and you should have one in your truck.
And the reason why most of us go through Swift for our insurance is because it's just so bloody cheap compared to the competition. They do a really good job of keeping that cost down for us.
Right.
I'll say again, I was looking for insurance to get my own authority last year. You guys know that story, boring. But the lowest quote I got for a first year with my own DOT number was $17,500 for truck and trailer.
Right. Roadhog said, "What's up, Todd? I hope you're having a blessed day."
Hey, Roadhog.
So, Sam Mars, does Swifty Swift allow lease purchase for flatbedders or only door swingers? Nope. You can absolutely come in with a flatbed truck. If you got your own, great. If not, they have options for that as well. They'll lease you a short top, all the long frame, and all that wonderful fuel mileage killing stuff. But you get flatbedders don't care about that stuff. So there you go. Alan Becker's a good one to talk to about that. He's actually, his next truck is probably going to be a flatbed lease truck. Let's see.
Crazy.
So right here, Keenan King, I'm 90% set on leasing with Swift, but this camera has me on my back foot. Look, I get it. I mean, maybe you wait a little bit. Maybe we get some more information, and you try and we try and get you a little better leg to stand on. The more information you have, the better decisions you can make, you guys. And that's what we're all about. Again, a lot of people think that we're just towing this company line, and that's not what we're about. We're about trying to open up the lines of communication. When they do something that upsets Jeff and I or the group, we don't go in there and be like, "Oh, you bastards, you're just trying to screw us." We're like, "Hey, so here's the problem, and here's a solution or 5 that we've come up with. What can we do from here?" And maybe they say, "Well, your solutions are stupid. How about this?" And we go, "Okay, well, how about this?" And we have discussions because we're adults and we're running businesses, and that's how you do business. I'm sorry if that's going to hurt someone's feelings out there, but whatever. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just clicking.
So,
cool.
So I got
where I'm at, but I was curious. It was too lazy to look online. Hey, we're here for you.
So I don't know what Sue's deal is today. She's watching. Hi, Sue. But she sent me a text to make sure that we do put out there that this camera's not going to be free.
Right.
We don't know what it's going to cost, but like anything else, the Zonar costs us, what is it, $17 a week,
Right.
So that's another factor to look at. Is the cost of that equipment going to make it so it's a little more feasible to get your own insurance? Maybe not. We just don't know, because we are just talking about one line item on that insurance that we would have to change. It's not like we have to go out and get our own cargo and all that stuff. It's just the what was it, Charlie? It was the collision, right?
It's the physical damage part, is my understanding. I mean, we're Todd and I both were actually talking about this earlier, and we're both trying to get better clarification on that very thing. Exactly which part of the insurance is it that we need to replace, and as soon as we know that, I'm willing to bet it's coming out on both channels.
Oh yeah,
because we all want to know. And look, if
Safe
we can get a
bet.
better deal, why not?
and
Or
and
if it means
I'll
that,
just put it out there. If you do find a better deal, let us know.
yeah, don't hold out, y'all.
Don't hold out.
Good Lord,
man.
we all need to know. So by all means, share that stuff, because let's
It's
be
like
real.
I was talking to an owner the other day that found an Alsups, and he's running the Texas area on the Target, and he found an Alsups that's kicking ESA's butt, and I'm like, well, heck, man, you should let everybody on your account know that then.
Matthew, hold on. I'm a terrible person. Yes, I did forget about you. Hold on. Let me get this call. Oh my God, I'm terrible. 33 minutes. Dude, I am so sorry, Matt.
Oh, you're good, Charlie.
Man, dude, we got rolling, bro, and I forgot to come back to the damn phone system. I clicked off the screen. I'm like, oh crap, I left 34 minutes now. I'm a terrible person. I apologize, and I hope you'll still hug me someday.
Yeah, I'll still give you your hug.
All right.
I'll give Jeff his hug too, because
great big cuddly
after
man.
yesterday, when I broke that news to Jeff, me and him, it got into a deep heated conversation for a while.
God. Jeff was a wreck.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same knee-jerk reaction that everybody did, I think. I mean, let's be real, I'm on record. If they ever made me get a camera, I'm gone. And then Charley reminded me this morning that he always said he was never going to buy a brand new truck. So
I'm in a 23. Things change, situations change.
So yeah, Matt.
Not saying we like it.
Was after my conversation.
Thanks for letting me vent yesterday, Matt. Thanks for letting me vent.
Not a problem. Yeah, I mean, I felt a lot better this morning after I went and got to Greer and woke up and talked to Michelle about it. And when she was explaining everything to me that she knew so far about the system, I was like, okay, so it doesn't sound like that it's that bad as initially thought. I said, I can tolerate if it's for them to use to access the view. If a incident happens with the vehicle, I can understand, but not the coach. And then going back on that coaching part of it, I did have the system in my truck, and the only coaching that I would receive a phone call from was being a mentor. They would call me if there was something that my system caught for my student.
Right.
And they would
that's the way it
inform me of it if I happened, and I was okay with that. And it just kind of helped me with mentoring them. But then it just kind of be, when talking with y'all, it just, that whole, they're going to micromanage you or something. Then I went ahead and I said, I'm getting rid of it.
By the way, Trucker Todd, this is Matthew Nissen. He's a member of the group.
He's bigger than all of us.
I met Todd at the terminal one day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've met him.
I don't know if Todd remembers me.
I
believe I do.
Yeah.
The minute I saw Matt, I just wanted to hug him. I just feel like he was going to save the world right at that moment. I just want to cuddle into that. And I'm not a tiny guy, don't get me wrong, but this guy's giant.
Well, Matt, we need you to go to Vegas so you can part the crowd for us.
Right? For real. Because we may or may not have Cody with us, with that monster with the size 20, 30,000 foot. Love that kid too.
Just let me know. I'll bring my boat paddle feet there with me.
Nice. Oh, look at Purple Yeti's gonna hug me and touch my tires, yo. I'm just saying, what? Now it's starting to get a little creepy, yo. I'm just saying. But
hey, it took longer than usual, though.
Right. Chris, I'm smoking the same old things that I always smoke. They're made by ILC, International Leaf Company. I buy them in bulk because I smoke too much not to buy them in bulk now. Sorry, that was a little side question there. I apologize, guys. And Craig,
as far as when y'all were talking about the charge on the camera system,
right?
I know right now if you were running with their camera system from Smart Drive, I want to say it was like $5.77 or $6 a week,
right?
That you were paying towards having that camera system. So,
and you got a break on insurance that was probably $3. Just saying.
Yeah, well, probably around the same amount. It was something like $5 or $6, and So, I mean, it was like, well, really and truly, you're giving me a break on the insurance a little bit, but I'm making up for it by paying for the camera.
Right.
Robbing Peter
But
to pay Paul right there.
I wouldn't think it'll be too much more on that if that's the cost, if they want to have the owner ops paying for the equipment part of it.
You know, something
it should cost them more than that.
Something I brought up with Jeff Reese today. You know, I was telling him what was going on and why I was looking at insurance and stuff. And a thought that occurred to me then was, if I can get a Falcon Eye type system, the one that Jeff and I were looking at that was like that was the Netrodyne system, and it's a rental deal versus buying it outright. Think about it this way: that if something happens to that system, well, there you go. They're going to replace that system, right? It's their equipment.
Just like the
they
old,
have to fix
just
it.
like the old.
They have to maintain
companies.
it, right? So maybe that's the thing. We don't know yet about money on these systems and any of that. And Craig Hutchinson said maybe ES Advantage can get us a good deal, and that's what we're trying to find out, Craig. I just ran out of time today, man, trying to get all this stuff together and deal with questions and comments, and the phone's been blowing up since yesterday, and I'm having to get caught up today, and I'm not feeling good. But yeah, so
yeah, I hope you feel better.
Oh, thanks, man. I need it. And then this Charley's favorite kid, it's not who I thought it was. I'm at a loss, but yes, you may have a cookie. You're welcome. Mike Henderson said yesterday I was ready to throw away 24 years and 3.6 million miles away at Swift over a camera. Thank you guys for today's show. Hey, man, that's what we're about, dude. Like, seriously. Look, you know, we all get those first reactions, and that's why we like to talk, you know.
Yeah, Charley indicated to me that it was probably a good thing that he was so sick yesterday he couldn't type.
Oh yeah, we'd have gone down a dark hole.
Because with both he and I being negative at the same time probably would not have been a good combination. Normally
add Trucker Todd into the mix, and man, we'd have lit the world on fire, y'all.
Well, even now, it's important to point out that we really don't have the final details yet,
Right.
and the devil's going to be in the details.
Absolutely.
So it's not time to throw your driving job away, but it's time to take some proactive steps and look into alternative insurances and alternative cameras and be prepared for the what ifs.
Oh yeah, and oh, look at that. That's an odd view. Let me take that one off. I'm sorry. I was trying to highlight you there. I apologize. I put you at the bottom of the screen. But that is, you know,
vocal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and be proactive, not reactive, and those sorts of things. You know, so that, you know, I mean, look, Jeff and I can tell you, you know, he's got a fetish for Landstar, so he's always looking, right. I'm constantly trying to reevaluate my business, and you know, I ask myself these questions, you know, pretty much daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You know, am I still happy doing with what I'm doing? Am I still happy doing with whom I'm doing those things with? Are they still meeting the needs that I require to run my business the way that I want to run my business? And if yes, great. If not, then I'm looking and I'm doing research. You know, that's how I almost ended up at a Mercer, you know, a couple years back. And then I decided that's too much work. It's just too much work. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have died with this whole neck thing. But you know, I mean, that's just real talk. And as business owners, you should be reevaluating and looking at all these things as often as possible. Hey, Sue. Wait.
There she is.
Sue commented, "Hey, everyone, just know that we are still waiting on more information to be able to share the correct information. Please be patient as we find out more." Absolutely, Sue. And that's what we're trying to get out there and stop the knee jerks that, you know, Jeff and I and a lot of people had yesterday. Because, you know, look, I've said some horrible things in a knee jerk reaction. So I really try to stop myself. And yesterday would have been just brutal with Jeff and I. So it was a good thing, especially with me feeling horribly the way I'm just like, oh my God, we would have blown up the world for real.
Nailed
Mike
it.
Anderson, we are truckers. Overreacting is what we do best. Amen, sir. Ain't that the truth? We can blow up anything.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
so
there's
another
still
note. What about the FMC requirement?
They're
about
still
speed
debating
limit? That's
that.
still going, right?
They're still debating that, and I got to admit a little bit of ignorance on that one because this isn't really on my radar for myself.
Yeah, I
my
only drive
business.
60, but I don't want a speed limiter in my truck either. But then we kind
Yeah,
of do anyhow.
for me,
because we're governed it what we're governed. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's they have it in Canada, and so I know the FMCSA has been evaluating the program up there.
Right.
They're having a hard time getting the regulation pushed through. So we'll just have to see. I'm with Charlie. You know, I'll drive what I drive. Don't force a limiter on my truck though. That's too far. I don't like that. But unlike the dash cam scenario that we're talking about right now, if the government comes down and says you will drive no faster than 65 miles an hour, your choice at that point is literally to either turn in your keys or drive 65 miles an hour.
Right.
You're not going to beat the government on that one.
Right. Good luck. So let's just hope it doesn't happen. But it sounds like there's actually a chance. I was reading something on it recently, and there's supposed to be some information coming out fairly soon, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, little shot in the brain, y'all.
I think there was something on Freight
so,
Waves a couple weeks ago too.
Right.
And it's just, yeah.
If you guys had any other questions, by all means, throw them up. Matt, I didn't mean to step all over you there, man. I apologize, buddy.
Oh, you're fine, Charlie.
You know, I'm like a dog on a bone. When I find a thought, I gotta eat it, get it, and do it, and otherwise I'll lose it. It's gone forever. And then the squirrel gets it, and then I'm.
That's it. You got to gnaw on it till it's gone, and then.
Know. But yeah, man. Definitely, you guys. Like I said, if you got any questions, throw them up. We will get to those questions the best we can. Understand that we don't have all the information. We are working actively to get more information so that we can pass that along and share it. And by all means, if you guys get something from a credible source, let's talk about it. Don't freak out. Don't get mad. Let's have a real conversation and see what there is to do about it. Right.
Yeah, I was going to say that about this particular comment. Word is FMCSA is possibly going to force the limiter next year around June. They're still having talks.
Right.
I've heard those rumors. Again, it's not one of my focuses. So if you have a source for that, that'd be great. Because if we really are that close, we probably ought to pay a little more attention to that as owners.
Yeah, I did a video on it earlier this week. That's the published date, but you guys know they have a open comment period and all kinds of stuff. So it's a long road. Comment
periods can destroy a published.
And then there'll be an injunction by some friendly judge, and then it'll go through the court system. And remember that not this last one, but there was one of the hours of service rules that took like years to get through the court. Remember that? When they had that stupid, you had to be, your 34 had to include 2 periods between midnight and 6 a.m.
Right.
That one. And that,
and you've got to
drag out forever.
You've got a midterm election that's coming up, and that could affect it depending on how it goes. And then you'll have a presidential campaign after that. So it's not something that's going to happen real quick, but I kind of agree with Charlie. I think something will happen eventually. It's just going to be a little ways down the road.
Right.
Yeah, elections can affect a lot of things like fuel prices on the West Coast. So I'm just going to put that out there.
And Blackbeard said Ohio will fight tooth and nail to not allow limiters, and you are absolutely right about that one.
I don't agree with
OIDA, but that's
I don't agree with OIDA on a lot of things, but on this one, I think they're right.
Right. Charlie's favorite kid said the fuel shortage ? I don't know. I don't look at volumes. I look at prices. Maybe I should be looking at both, but I don't know what to tell you there. I apologize.
Yeah, I read an article. What was it this morning? That said that after the last release of the strategic reserves, the U.S. is down to 25 days of diesel fuel or something like that. Which, you read these articles.
I like the name.
Okay.
Finish your thought, Jeff. We'll come
back. If you really look like that, I don't know, man. I might be knocking on your door too. Oh shit.
Oh,
now I lost my train of thought, man. But But you read some of these articles though, and understand that the media these days, some of this stuff is designed to raise your blood pressure.
Right.
The whole
Create
clickbait thing.
I can't talk.
So
Division.
whenever people talk about things like the fuel shortage or anything political, I think it's a good idea to be informed, but read stuff with a grain of salt. What's your actual experience out in the real world? My experience is that diesel fuel went up this week. That's my experience. My experience is that 2 weeks ago, cornflakes went down at Walmart. My wife was all happy, and now they're going up again.
Right.
And she's less happy. So
this is the greatest YouTube name ever. Your mom wants me to be her boyfriend. Sorry, I just couldn't keep it in anymore. Can you haul meat across country in a flatbed trailer? Absolutely not. You're right. I'm with you. Just wanted to say your name. There you go. Colton W, this video has cleared up a lot of questions. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, man. That's what we're trying to do. Todd and us at Contractors Corner, we're always trying to get to the real deal and talk about things that are real and honest and open and get good dialogues going, you guys. So Jason Caps, what did you miss? Buddy, I apologize, brother. You need to rewind this one and start from scratch. Too much, sir. Too much. Roll it back, start fresh, hit me on the text later.
I can give you a hint though, because I think you were involved in some of that discussion last night, weren't you?
Right. James, you're hammering on this DOL gig job thing. Not that I'm ignoring it. It's that it's so convoluted and it's so in litigation that it really is, unfortunately, a wait and see type thing. And build your business to protect yourself.
On a national level, the bill that would cause that to affect us is dead. Now, the states can do what they want, 10th Amendment. States can do that. And that's why Swift does not do contractors in how many states now, Charlie?
10.
Is it 10?
It's 10 or 13. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, so, as the states decide that they're going to follow California, that's kind of killing the business in those states. So what do? You do things like what I did. I left Oregon because they're next up. Swift, they don't officially have an anti-gig worker law in Oregon, but the climate there is such that it's coming. And Swift stopped accepting new owner-operators there several years ago. I and a bunch of other people were grandfathered in, so we got to keep our position the way it was. But eventually you get to a point to where, like I'm always saying, do you want to stay in business? Well, I wanted to stay in business so bad that I moved states. So
I see you can stand by, brother. I'm getting right to you. Mike Campbell, are there places that have poor grade fuel we should know about? Certain vendors. Anyone could be a candidate for that on any given day. I personally stick to the big five and the QT and a couple other larger chains. Personally, I'm afraid of the mom and pops. But if you do hit those smaller stops, in fact, I tell everybody this, you should be carrying at least a couple fuel filters with you and know how to change your fuel filter, because that can get you out of a bind, guys. Ken Kelly's on the line. I'm going to bring him in. Hey, Matt, I'm going to put you down if that's cool.
Yeah, and I'll give you a call later on to work out details about that spreadsheet with you later on.
Cool deal. Yeah, and what he's talking about is he's got a cool spreadsheet that he runs to monitor his business, and we're actually going to get Matt Nissen on the show and go over that and share that thing so people can use that if they want to. Appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for calling, buddy. Sorry it took so long.
All right. Not a problem. Y'all be safe.
All right, buddy. You too. Let me bring in Ken Kelly here because I like this. Ken Kelly, I don't have any topics. I'm going to truck driver. Yes, sir. Ken Kelly, you're on.
Yeah, hey, Charlie. What's up?
What's up, brother?
I got a few quick comments.
Yeah,
One
man.
about the Swift cam and them sneaking in at coaching. The only thing that makes me worry about that is for all us guys who are around. You remember the Scott Barker, Victor Marchese videos that they sent when they were first doing this cam with the company trucks?
Oh my God,
we
those guys.
we won't look inside. We won't look inside.
Right.
When the truck stopped, there's no. And what happened?
A lawsuit.
They looked inside, and it all appeared on the internet. So when Swift comes up and tells me, "Oh, we're not going to coach. We're not going to look at the video that way," their history proves otherwise.
However, just to be
That's
fair,
just
but to be
I
fair,
am being fair, Charlie. That's
Well,
a fact. Their history proves otherwise.
but the problem that you're talking about was not the entire company on the inward facing cameras, because they weren't supposed to do that, and that's what led to a lawsuit that actually got those inward facing cameras removed. There was a couple of bad apples who decided to do shady shit, and they got slammed, and people went to jail.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all fine, but the trust issue, that bridge has been burned.
Well, you know,
it just has, Charlie. What I would like to see, there's a solution to this. What I would like to see is it in writing, and that everything be CCTV, closed circuit television. That it doesn't go out over the airwaves. It's kept in that black box. That is their solution. Granted, they might not have the instant access but we need that in writing. I mean, I might not be at a meeting or whatever where you guys hammer this crap out, but we need that in the ICOA.
You won't get me to argue that one. I'm with you.
You know, it just is. The other topic, speed limiters, we're gonna get them. We're not gonna be able to dodge that. It's gonna be years down the road, but we're gonna get them. The safety groups are just too idiotic with that.
Right.
Yeah.
The third thing about the recession, I've been through every recession since Clinton was made president. Seriously, I first started to drive
since Roosevelt
when he was elected.
What?
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Yeah, well, you know, I used to herd mules for Washington too. But,
right.
You know, that's a different story. But you know, this is not the worst downturn I've seen. 2008 was what makes this one so bad that people don't understand is inflation.
And we had that amazing, crazy high spike right before it.
Yeah.
I mean, historic volumes.
And with the oil prices, get out the political stuff on the page, guys. No administration is responsible for that. It's a world market, and it's world forces. You know, there's just nobody in the United States can be able to control oil prices. That's just a fact. Get used to it. You can blow off steam and blame Biden, Trump, or whoever you want, but it's a global market. Even if we drill our own oil in the United States, which we do, it's sold on the global market.
Right.
Yep.
Jason Cap said, "Damn you, Ken Kelly, stop making sense." Just wanted to share that with you.
I know it sucks. I'm going to keep this short. But my biggest concern, guys, and if you go to the bargaining table, one, I'd like to be there, but number two is stress that it's got to be in the ICOA.
Right.
That you will not look under any circumstances whatsoever unless there's an accident at any footage, and preferably keep it CCTV. I don't want, Trucker Todd, if it goes out over the airways, it can be hacked. It can be deep faked after it gets hacked. I don't want that crap.
No, and like I said, you know, initially what I'm being told is that it's not even going to be an access by Swift type thing as it stands right now, that it's purely the insurance company holding it. And you can argue Swift owns the insurance company, whatever. Honestly, I don't know. Someone told me that Knight owns the insurance company. I don't know who the hell owns the insurance company. What I know is that they are separate entities, and it's not supposed to be passed back and forth, and that's why there's not supposed to be any coaching going on. That's not to say, I don't know. You know, if you're on the smart drive system, that system is what it is, and that is absolutely accessed by the company, right? These other systems are not in that system. So I can see where, okay, we shouldn't see any coaching or that, because those systems aren't there, because it's purely on the insurance company side. and they want access to
Yeah.
that stuff. So, and yeah, I won't argue the black box thing. I think that's how it should be. I don't have a huge problem personally with the cloud-based systems if they're not abused, which of course they could be abused. Don't get me wrong. I'm not naive enough to think that that is not a thing.
Dude, Charlie, I live near Seattle. We got hackers there that are 10 years old that can bust into any cloud.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, and then it's worse in Silicon Valley. So it's, I just don't trust it.
Right.
Ask any actress to put their nude photos in the cloud,
Right.
and all of a sudden it's on the internet. All that stuff can be hacked, all of it. I just prefer to see a closed circuit.
No, and I agree with you, man.
There's no argument there.
Chris said Swift used to have driver-facing cameras, ? Yes, they did, and they got sued, and they went away. And that goes into Jeremy Griggs said, I would never, there's no way I would drive with I'm assuming that's a driver-facing camera. And that's not what they're doing. So let's just be real clear about that. James, we're getting new camera system. It's something that's being discussed. It's going to happen. If you stay on Swift's insurance, then you will be required to have one of 4 different vendors' cameras as of right this minute. And so, yeah, I would say rewind the show and start from the beginning, because there's a lot of information, a lot of discussion we had with Todd and Jeff and myself, and a lot of information that we got from other individuals.
One last thing, Charlie, is you might want to have them expand, see if they can expand their choices.
Yeah, and that is one of the things that I actually spoke to an individual today about, and that's not a off the table type discussion already. So it's something that was absolutely said. Oh, you know what? You're right.
Okay, so, yeah. I got to run and do trucker things. So
all right, buddy. You be careful.
You guys have a good one.
You too, man. Be safe.
All
Thanks
right,
for calling,
Ken. Bye-bye.
So like Ken Kelly, Matthew Nissen out there, if any of you want to call in, feel free to call in. You just dial 1-813-548-3722. That's 813-LIVE SCC. I like saying that part. I don't know why. And I feel like I have to say it that way. Live SCC. The radio thing, whatever. It feels cool. Don't judge me. The fuel surcharge is up there. I'm going to do some quick stuff here real quick, if you guys don't mind, while we got a quick little break. Hey, if you're not already subscribed and you haven't already hit the thumbs up, man, you guys, we would really appreciate some thumbs ups. If you found that this was helpful to you and, it's helping be a part of the conversation, you like being part of the conversation, hey, maybe you could subscribe. I know there's some new people that don't normally watch us through Contractors Corner. If you are not actually watching through our channel and you're catching it on Todd's feed, hey, check us out. We are right now on the YouTubes as Swift Contractors Corner. What our focus is the Swift contractor model. We do help guide folks and talk business and things like that. And we are building a company where we will actually be doing quite a bit of consulting. And our goal is to be able to help you go from company through getting your own authority, even if that's what you want to do someday. So, right now our major focus is those contractors at Swiss Transportation and trying to work profitably within that system. So with that being said, if, you dig what we're doing, hit the button. It's not that hard. Come on, guys. Those buttons help us reach more people. And if you're on Todd's channel, you should absolutely hit that button, because the dude does good stuff. We actually, I dig Todd's videos. I comment over there, and then I get flamed for some of the things I say, because then they're like, "You're a Mr. Swift." They do it to me on yours too, Todd. So it's fine. I'm just, look. One thing I will be is honest, 100% honest at all times. Maybe you don't like what I say. I can't help that, but I'm honest. That I can promise you that I'm going to be, honest and as forthright as I can. I mean, I'm not going to throw out information. They're like, hey, don't talk about this yet, because then they won't tell me things, and we can't help prepare and build plans for dealing with these changes when they come, right? So yeah, why are they not asking the contractor's opinions about the camera system? Blackbeard, I don't know. It's a good question. That was one of the things that I brought up. Why have we not been a part of this in some way, shape, form? And you know what? Maybe they have. Maybe they've talked to people that we're unaware of, because damn sure wasn't any of the three of us. That I could tell you.
Yeah.
You know, look, you know, that we're not the only people out there, y'all. You know, we don't get all the information. We try to get as much as we can, and we try and have these conversations that will get us better informed so that we can make these good decisions, hopefully, you know. Greg Burgess, let me throw it out there because I can't read it down there. Well, just came in on the part of what King Kelly and you were talking about. So, yep, this is interesting. I'll have to go back and watch the whole thing and see what's going on. Holy cows. Exactly, Greg. There's a lot, man. And I think between Todd and Jeff and myself and the conversations we've all had with contacts and sources and things like that, we're going to get through this, y'all. Don't, the sky ain't falling yet.
Mm-hmm.
And black helicopters are not following you. You're not that important. Stop it. Hello to the NSA. Sorry. I apologize. Oh, click.
We actually do that almost every time we talk on the phone, Charlie and I. We say hello to the NSA. We say hello to the NSA and Homeland Security and all those guys.
Beware of the mailman. I'm just saying. In the event of an EMP, beware of the postal carriers.
Yes.
Throwing that out there. Don't say I didn't warn you. So, yeah. If you guys have questions, by all means, we got another call. By all means, throw them up. We will do our best to dive into those. That's what we do. We want to answer questions. The more questions we have, the better conversation we have, and the more information we know. I've only been watching. Sorry, Mike Henderson said, I've only been watching for 3 weeks. What is the Las Vegas thing? Jeff, I'm going to let you dip into that real quick. I got to be right back.
Oh, he's got to blow his nose, guys.
Yep. Nobody needs to hear
so that. Las Vegas will be our first official conference. We're going to be doing it the first week of April. We're still trying to set up the venues and all that stuff. We're going to have Alan Becker there going over some basic maintenance items. There'll be a goodie bag with the tools that he's going to show us all how to use. We're going to have Sue Smith there to talk to us. And yeah, it'll be a good time. The price point for actually attending the conference, we're setting it about $150 a person. And that's just to recoup the cost of doing it because we're going to actually get a conference room and, you know, we got to pay for Alan's tools that he's going to give us, all that stuff. We're also working on getting our OOC, Charlie and I's, Dana Nelson. So what I'm hoping that Sue talks about is growing a small fleet because she did that. And maybe she can help some of us avoid some of the pitfalls there. And Dana, what her expertise is, she's never been a driver or anything like that, but she did used to own her own brokerage firm, her own freight brokerage. So she's got some insight into like markets and things like that, rates and lanes, kind of help us understand more of that side of things. So that's what you can look forward to if you want to join us there. We'll have an actual date by the end of the year here. We got a couple of things we need to set up before we can do the official announcement and give solid dates.
Sorry about
He's
that.
Back.
Who is Alan Becker? Yeah, that guy.
Who's Alan Becker? Nobody knows. He's a ghost. So Alan Becker's kind of become our mechanical expert. Once Charlie gets around editing the video, you'll see him in action teaching me how to change my own airbags. We did that at Phoenix in the parking in the Bobtail Park.
Right.
And yeah, that was
fun.
Hot. Like literally, he's not being facetious.
No, yeah, not like HAWT. It was freaking HOTT exclamation. It was freaking hot, yo. Oh my God. And I wasn't even working. I was holding the stupid camera.
Yeah, Charlie and Rosie got two different angles on it with two different cameras. So it'll be good once it's fully produced. And you know, his background is he actually is a ASC certified. So he's a good resource for the group. If you all have questions about maintenance and trying to turn wrenches on your own truck, Alan Becker's your guy.
And let's see, got another phone call. So James Vaughn, what's up, dude?
Oh,
hey, What's up, guys?
Oh, just hanging out,
Hello?
talking some stuff.
Yeah.
Trying not to piss off the
No,
world.
the only reason why I was hammering that in there because it's an actual proposed rule on the DOL website on the federal site right now. And it actually does specifically say us in it. If you go through and you actually read it.
Right.
Yeah,
by all means, throw a link up in the
that's why
group,
I was-
man, so that we can all really dive into it. Because trying to navigate the DOL site, oh my god, sometimes it's like what?
Well, if you type in Department of Labor's new gig rule, it'll actually take you right to it. But I didn't know anything about it until my student said something about it. Then I found it on Mother Trucker, which he's kind of hit or miss. Then I researched it myself, and I actually found it. I know I talked to Phoenix about it, but they're saying that's not going to go national.
Right.
But I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no,
hey, Greg, definitely roll back the video, man, and start from the beginning, dude. We talked a lot about a lot of things. It'd be too much to go back over all right now. Sorry, buddy. And real quick here, Untamed Squirrel, do you know the approved alternative list for ELD we contract can use besides Zonar? I apologize. I meant to go back to your question earlier, Untamed Squirrel. That's the problem right now is they don't actually have an alternative right now. The contract does stipulate that if you have a compliant, compatible system, then you can bring that and go for it. But that is not something that happened. It's not in existence that we're aware of at this point because I've asked that same question. Because I was like, I'm going to get my own too because the Zonar thing is for the birds. But whatever. Sorry, James, go ahead, buddy. I apologize.
Oh, no, that's okay. I've been thinking about throwing that Zonar out the window every other day because it doesn't work half the time. I wish they'd bring back the old Qualcomm. That was kind of least reliable.
Yeah, I don't use the navigation on the Zonar, but here's a funny thing. So a couple days recently, I had issues locating a customer that wasn't one of my normal things. And oddly enough, Garmin, Google, everybody failed me, but the Zonar actually took me to the right driveway. It was baffling to me. And we're talking last ditch effort. I'm like, well, let's see what the hell Zonar says. And it got me there. And I was like, oh, the world has ended. We're on fire and I must be sleeping.
You must have hit that 1 in a million chance right there on that one.
It was baffling to me.
Because all I know is I do a lot of work for Las Lunas with the DC up there. And I know it's been doing really, really good for me on the navigation side. It'll actually take me to the dock door. So, but that's for Walmart. So that's a little different story.
Right.
Thank you for the nice comments. That's a lot. Jesus' name above all names. God bless y'all. Be safe. Thanks for the dedication. Hey, that's what we're all here for, to put out good information. I'm glad you tuned in and checked us out. I know you're coming in from Todd's site. So, hey, check us out. We're here live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Yes, I'm shamelessly plugging. Can't help it.
I'm gonna get off the phone and I'm gonna get back into the chat. But
thanks, James.
I thought I'd call in and screw with you guys for a minute.
Appreciate it. We need the poking every now and then. You be safe, buddy.
Oh, right. Yeah. I haven't broke your brain yet, so let me see if I can do that.
Oh, great. Thanks. Not hard today, really. Trust me.
I'm out of here.
All right, buddy.
So I actually
Mike Camel. Does Zonar take previous driver routes as consideration? Jeff, go.
It's supposed to.
That's funny.
So if you pull up a pre-programmed address, like when you're looking at your load, and you say, "All right, take me to the final," it will show you that other drivers have gone to this waypoint instead of the one that we're showing.
Right.
And it'll give you the option to go to that waypoint instead. And what I've noticed is that about half the time, it's not 100% because, Zonar, but about half the time it'll take you right to the gate instead of on the wrong side of the building.
Hell with Zonar, if you're saying 50%, that's great.
Because a lot of times the address
My bad.
is the front of the building, like a DC's. It's the front of the building where it says Walmart. And the
Right.
gates on
us
the
dirty
other,
truckers got to come in 4 blocks away in a different zip code.
4 blocks away is the actual entrance, and you can't get there now because you're in front of the building and there's a neighborhood right in front of you.
Right. Untamed Squirrel, what's considered compatible in Swift's eyes? It speaks to their system, it logs the way they want it, and it will report to their systems. Beyond that, I got nothing for you, man. I just don't know. I've been trying to figure out for the last couple of years as well. And, there used to be a lot of decent systems out there that would replace the Qualcomm. And that was an option at the time. And some of them were cost prohibitive. Some of them, they were adequate. Because of the new system in the Zonar, I don't know that there is such a beast out there yet. You could reach out to the owner-operator division or the Zonar team and see if there is something out there. Heck, Becky Campbell at the owner-operator division, even directly to Brett Stewart and see if maybe they've come up with something more. I don't know. Sorry. Oh Lord, welcome back, James. Thank you for the call, buddy. So yeah, like we say, if you got questions, throw them up. Otherwise, we may be starting to wrap this thing up. We're a little over an hour and a half now, and Todd's not used to being up this long on these things. He's like, what the heck? And he's still got to get back to work. Yeah. I don't have to work till tomorrow. I got to go find a trailer. That's going to be fun. I got to load from Jacksonville to Arizona, and I'm really excited about trying to find a trailer. I figure my load doesn't pick up till 6 o'clock. So in the evening, I think I'll start at 6 a.m. tomorrow and see what happens.
Yes, you should.
So yeah. Todd, man, thanks for coming on here, dude. Seriously, we really appreciate it, man. I like that you jumped up and stood up, and here we are, man. Todd was worried we were gonna beat him the hell up, and I'm like, man, we ain't like that. Come on,
show's not over yet.
True enough, you still got a couple minutes to wrap it. Pardon me while I light. Jeff's drinking out of a moonshine jug. I mean, what the hell? So yeah.
Yeah, but in defense of that mileage thing, I'm reading Blackbeard's comment. I found most of the time I'm within a few miles of the estimates. Occasionally I can beat it, but I haven't found a huge discrepancy most of the time.
Right. Yeah. That 10% thing, I know I can go call my OOC and be like, look, this is all wacky. Now granted, I don't typically follow their routes to start with. And honest to God, most of the routes that I take are longer than a lot of the Swift routes because of Rosie and my preference of road types and things like that. So I'm not going to hammer them on me taking a route that's longer than theirs, because when I look at their route, it's actually fairly close. It's been my experience for the time I've been here. And when there is something wacky on their route versus what is real, I just call the OC and say, hey, Dana, what the heck? And she's like, okay, let me run the miles. And she puts it in city by city and tracks it that way. And I usually get paid the extra miles. So in fact, I had one time where I was like that and it came up less miles. I was like, oh, that one bit me in the butt. She's like, you sucker. I'm like, yup. So,
yeah,
be willing to go either way on that.
I'm still in the school too, though. The household mover miles is in fact how Swift figures out their rates for their customers.
Right.
And as long as that's the case, I'm happy with the way they're calculating mine. I will have them rerun a route if it's beyond 8%, because there's that plus minus 8% thing on household mover miles.
Right.
And it'll get me close within that 8% every single time. But I've always said too that if I ever find out that you're charging your customers door to door, we've got a problem.
Right? Because that's a whole nother world now.
Yep.
Oh, let's see. All right, you know what? There's nothing coming in on the phone. Questions seem to be kind of disappearing there. So yeah, you guys want to thank you for joining us, and those of you coming in from Todd's channel and hanging out with us and being a part of the show today. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, and Jeff. You guys, I never know. It's always
now you got 2 fingers you got to do.
That's Jeff. Look, I'm moving the fingers first. That's Todd. I'm Charlie. This is Contractors Corner, and we're live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on Swift Contractors Corner. Todd, once again, thanks, buddy. Anything else you want to throw out there real quick?
No, that's it. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for having me on.
Man, we do appreciate you, buddy. Let me put your YouTube up there one more time real fast. Look, there it is, everybody. You know what? Don't type that damn link. That's crazy as hell. Just do a search, Trucker Todd, on YouTube. I'm telling you, he comes up, bing, number 1. He's right there. And you can't miss the guy. It looks just like him right there. It looks just like this guy. Oh, wait, let's do it to him again. He's big.
It's hard to duplicate this face.
Right? You and me both, brother. But yeah, you guys, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we appreciate